Hey, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. I'm here with an energy update for the collective and the twin flames. So much is going on. It might feel a little bit crazy at this time. Um, we're going towards a new moon. I think it's December 7th or so. So in just a few days, the energies are already in. And this new moon is going to bring a lot of new things. And I know we always say that. And it's normal because we keep on going higher and higher. We evolve, things progress. They may feel like they regress at times, but in those moments, it's just a step back to take more forward. Many things are going on at this time for the collective and the divine masculine collective, especially. They are going through so many purges and releasing of old stuff, especially old perceptions and thought patterns and the way they used to see things or act or just the way they would feel about something, especially in the twin flame, for those that are in the twin flame connection, because when I refer to the divine masculine, it's not necessarily in regards to a twin flame, but to the divine masculine energies that we all have within. Um, a lot of them are feeling lost. So if you are feeling lost at this time, you're probably picking up on your twin flame, feeling lost in the sense of where did my personality go? Where did my joyful person go? Kind of thing. The thing where you feel like you're going at the rock bottom in order to make space for new things to show up. And it's normal. It's December, the last few weeks before a new year. 2019 is going to be a huge year for spiritual advancement, any kind of advancement and progress for that matter, any kind of progress. No matter what you're struggling with right now, is going to take a much different turn in 2019. Much more abundance, much more clarity for a lot of people who are not seeing clearly or thinking or feeling clearly. And I know it's hard because we feel like we're not in balance. We feel like we're being pushed and pulled in all different directions. Well, it's going to calm down in 2019. Is going to be a year of more balance and more um, truth, compassion, embodying our truth. So the more we do right now, here and now, the better it is. Let's not wait for 2019 to show up to start doing so. The only time that matters, anyhow, is the now. If you haven't read the book from Eckhart Tolle on the power of the now, I strongly suggest that you do. It's a life changing book and it explains the art of surrender and the art of detachment. If you practice any kind of meditation, you've probably learned about detaching, on how to allow your thoughts just to flow through you without thinking that it's you necessarily. It may sound weird if you're new in the spiritual world, and a lot of people may think, "Well, wow, you have a mental problem there, my friend." But rest assured, you don't. More than, and I'm not sure about the number, but I think it's 90%. More than 90% or even 95% of our thoughts are not even ours. They come from the unified field that connects us to one another. So that book, The Power of the Now, is just amazing, and it really truly explains in detail how to detach and just allow life. It's one of our biggest challenges is to allow. Most people just don't allow. They were taught or programmed one way and they never let go of that program, and that's how they set themselves up to fail, basically. And fail on different levels, you know. So right now the divine masculine is also feeling at rock bottom as well. They can no longer just hold on to the old stuff. The stuff that they've been carrying, they've been putting out there, they can't. They just can't. And you can test it if you want. At this point, it's really important to keep our thoughts very clean. I've been saying this for the past few months. Do the test today if you can. It happened to me earlier. I was walking up the stairs and I had a negative thought showing up in my mind. And I lost my footing and I almost fell face first on the stairs. It didn't happen because I recognized that thought and immediately was able to just transmute it and say, this is not my thought. This is a thought of fear, of lacking self-confidence, and it's not mine. So I block it, I refuse it, and I replace it by a positive thought. And I didn't fall, but that was just funny. That was a funny synchronicity. We are at that point. We need to be responsible and take responsibility for our energy. I've been saying this also for quite a long time. It's part of being on a spiritual path. It's part of being a human being. At the end of the day, if you do not take responsibility for your own energy, your life is going to be in chaos all the time. And these energies are bringing a lot of chaos, a lot of chaotic situations, and it's for a good cause. It's for a good reason, and we shall surrender to this until it settles down a little bit. And it will settle down. 2019 is going to be a much calmer year if you have done the work. If you haven't changed anything about yourself or your life, you may be experience more chaos in 2019, which is not something we wish on people, right? I certainly don't. So in December, for the rest of December, for the rest of the year, what is important to do is remain calm, remain in balance, keep the balance, especially for the divine masculine that they are going through their own personal hell, their own personal prison. They are being shown where they are keeping themselves locked into a prison. In my last video, I mentioned karma, past life stuff, and that is still going on. If you are able to do a past life regression on your own, please do so. You're going to discover many interesting things about your own journey or your twin flame connection that may be creating a block at this time in this lifetime. Surrendering and detaching is also extremely important, especially if you're in a twin flame connection. Detach. And if you are a true twin flame, you know how hard it is to do, how hard it is to not think about this person, not either be mad or send them love. But detaching is not saying or thinking, oh, I'm never going to see this person again. I never want to see this person again. No, it's just focusing on you and you only, as if nothing else in the world exists. Just you, to be your best version, to be your best self, taking care of yourself, loving yourself, and being in balance. That's all that matters at any minute and second of the day is you. We are unfortunately in a society where people, they trigger us For those who are working in business, you know, the big ego mind of I'm better than you and I'm going to show you the competition, all that stuff. It's time to let it go. That's not the way we were meant to be on earth. We were meant to be as a team. We are all related to one another on a spiritual level and energetic level. Why not be like that in the physical level? Why not help people where they lack? Why not help people where they are struggling? And focus on ourselves while we do so, meaning that we do it out of the kindness of our heart, and by helping others, we are helping ourselves. I have a really hard time speaking apparently today. I'm sorry about that. Um, if we love ourselves first, this is how we can help people. If we try helping people and we're not in balance, guess what's going to happen? We're going to guide these people into being out of balance themselves. So just something to think about. That's what December is about. Surrender. Do nothing. It may feel like a roller coaster of being high and lows and extreme highs and extreme lows, and that's normal. During those low moments, those moments where you feel a lack of self-love, love yourself even more. Learn to love these moments. That's what it's all about. In life, there's always two choices, love or fear. If we choose fear, we create more fear. If we choose love, we create more love. And when we say face your fears and face yourself, what we really mean to say is love yourself. Love your fears. By sending love to your fears, they're going to disappear. They're not going to follow you or disturb you anymore. So, yes, loving your fears. That's how you dissolve them. That's how they go away. If you fear your fears, you're going to create more. And that's what the Divine Masculine is working on right now. They are seeing their patterns and where they're afraid, especially in regards to the twin flame connection. They are looking at it and they are starting to shift their perceptions and understanding of what the connection truly is, even though a lot of them already know what the connection is. They've just been afraid and they've been running away, living a life that was not authentic, living a life that was not theirs. And now they are being faced with that. They must let go of the mask. Hence why it's so important to surrender and to detach. The more you detach, the more they have the freedom to do the work they need to do. The more you wait, the worse it's going to get. You can't wait. It's not about waiting. If we wait for someone to be happy, you're showing the universe, I'm not happy on my own. I need someone else. And until you learn that lesson, it's not going to happen. We all need to be in balance first in order to manifest what we want. Especially in the twin flame connection, because this connection is so crazy. And I am seeing another wave of readers or people that used to identify themselves as twin flames just walking away and saying, I had to let them go, or I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to do readings about that anymore. Maybe it's their way of detaching or just them going through what they need to go through at this time. But it's not the first time I'm seeing this wave. And it's not easy. It's really not an easy thing to go through. It's the best time though to work on self-mastery, because that's what it's all about. To live a happy life is to be happy first. If we're not happy within ourselves, there is no way we can manifest that on the outside. It can show up, but it's going to be a fly by night. It's not going to stick. It's going to create something else. It's when we are in true alignment that we create more stuff that are or is aligned to us on the outside. And being in true alignment doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, a lot of time. If we just take a look at it for a moment from the perspective of from the age of 0 to 7, our brain retained all the information that was heard or felt from anyone in our surrounding. And then when we become adults, it's our job to undo these programs. And then if we take into account that we've had past lives before, we need to clear that as well. Sure, it can look like a mountain. It can look like a very tedious work, and it is. There's nothing easy. It takes work to appreciate when we receive. So be careful, as I often say, with what you choose to take in as truth. I still see a lot of people out there putting messages, and it's their own messages, which is absolutely fine. But always remember that whoever is out there putting messages, including myself, that message is aligned with our own limitations and our own progress and our own self-mastery. So if someone just started on a spiritual path, their messages is going to be up to their limitation. And someone who's been on a path for quite some time, you're going to see or feel a major difference by the content they put out there or just the way they are, their energy. So again, taking responsibility for our energy is of the utmost importance for the end of the year, to start 2019 on a good foot. If I go back to the Divine Masculine, they are feeling lost, going at the rock bottom, like I was saying, and they don't really know what's happening. Some of them are starting to be aware of, could this be a spiritual thing? Could this be something that I need to pay attention to? Because I've been down that road before. It did not feel good, did not feel comfortable, and this time around, I want it to be different. What can I do to change in order to change the situation? Be the change that you want to see in the world. So some of them are starting to see this. Some of them are starting to see how misaligned they were, how out of touch they were with themselves. I've been seeing a lot of Divine Masculine not really knowing who they were or who they are. They just took on the programs of their surroundings, and they were wearing that mask or even that suit, like a full-on bodysuit of someone that is not them. And they are shedding that and going deeper into their hearts. If you've been following me for some time now, I've been saying that they are going deeper and deeper into their hearts, and it cannot, again, happen overnight. This is not a kind of change that happens overnight. It would be too traumatic to do so or to feel that. Imagine waking up one morning and just being like, what is that feeling? I don't understand nothing of what's going on. And having to go through the day-to-day stuff, working to pay our bills, working to eat, working to provide for our family, and all that wonderful human stuff that we need to do. Well, the divine masculine is going deeper into their hearts. So it's not a time to push, it's not a time to be in any way negative, it's a time to be uplifted and embrace this time of deep, deep, deep change. And it goes for everyone on earth. I do say the divine masculine, and we carry the divine masculine energy within, even if we are women. Even if you're a man, you carry the divine feminine. So we're all being touched on different levels by this change. And it's not always easy. And it's hard at this time to see what's coming ahead because this shift is so big. Like the biggest I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen a shift taking so long or being so deep or being so drastic in a way. If we go back a year from now in my videos, I was saying there is no more time for keeping the masks. Still, this is still happening. There is no more time. It's even more real than it was a year ago because we are, as a collective, manifesting this change. And it all starts on a spiritual level, energetic level, until it works its way down to the physical. And we, as a collective, are manifesting this. So we all have a really important role to take in this shift. And it's not about complaining. It's about loving ourselves. It's not about being negative. It's about being positive. It's not about waiting or being lazy. It's about working to the best of your abilities. It's about pushing forward, pushing through, even though it hurts, even though you don't feel good, even though you feel like you're not yourself. Totally normal at this time. Feeling lost, feeling like a loss of identity, a loss of interest too into the things that you used to like. It's going to come back in a different way, meaning that it's going to come back, but even better. So that's great. That's something to look forward to. But it's hard to see at this point more than a few days, a few weeks in advance. It's just too crazy, this shift. And especially with the new moon coming up, it's going to change a lot of things. It's as if we're going to go to sleep one night and wake up the next morning and be like, what happened? Because everything seems like it changed. And that's going to be with the winter equinox. I don't know what date it is, but usually around the 21st. That equinox is going to change a whole lot of things, like a huge game changer. And if you're not ready for that, if you're not in balance, it may hit very hard. So a lot of divine masculine are going to be hit with that wave of, whoa, what some may call timeline jumping. Like you were going one direction and you wake up one morning and that direction no longer exists. You're now on a different one, and this is where you need to go from now on. As opposed to if you're in balance, you feel these things coming. You feel that something is going to change. You feel how deep that change is, and you're able to just adjust yourself and go with the flow and keep embodying love and spreading the light. That's it. As far as the divine feminine, when earlier I was talking about a lot of people detaching, a lot of the divine feminine are just detaching from this journey. And for a lot, it is temporary because it will come back. And for others, it's going to be more like meeting of a soulmate in the meantime. Some form of support, some form of connecting to someone else, to receive help in seeing where the blockages are still present. And some of them will choose to stay with their soulmate, and some others, they won't. They will just keep on walking the twin flame path, and the soulmate will just either remain a friend or just walk away, or even just, when I say soulmate, I don't necessarily mean romantic soulmate. It could be a soulmate showing up as a friend or a therapist or a client or someone that you have an instant connection with and that you share on a deeper level. And they're lined up, they're going to show up, and then it's going to be up to you to decide how you want to deal with this. Doesn't necessarily mean that your twin flame connection is dead. If you are in one, you know that there is no real way to disconnect from your twin flame. You always keep on feeling that person, feeling their state of mind, their emotions, and even their body pains or reaction um, when, even if you're apart, even if you're not speaking, you keep on feeling that. I mean, that's something that so far I've never seen no one explaining how to disconnect from a twin flame. And even myself, I don't know, I wouldn't have an explanation for this. To me, it's impossible. It's just there. It's there. It exists like a living thing, it is a living thing. It's a living energy, and it's there. It's real. So, this is a crazy ride that we chose, and sometimes I'm like, why did we choose this? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy thing to do before, coming to Earth. But we chose it, so let's just be our best and find the best versions of ourselves through that journey, because that's what it's about. It's not about being with your twin flame, it's about being the best person you can be, a master at yourself through self-mastery. Divine feminine, yeah, a lot of them detaching, and this is something that the divine feminine needs to be doing. And I'm not saying quit the path, I'm saying detach. Just allow space for the divine and the universe to bring you things. And divine, I rarely use that word, but the universe, I resonate more with the word universe. Allow the universe to bring it to you, and the only way you can have it is by detaching and focusing on you and loving yourself. Because if you love yourself first, like I said so many times so far, that's how you can receive it. Because you upload it to the unified field and then you can receive it. You get what you put in. Yes, so the winter equinox, depending on you are on the planet, is going to be a game changer as well. So after we've crossed that mark there, it's a stepping stone. It's a pivotal moment of what your life is going to be like next. So being in balance once again, having your thoughts in check, clean, positive at all times. And if you get triggered, which is normal at this point, if you get triggered, get back in balance as quickly as possible. Realize, is this coming from me or is this coming from someone else projecting on me? That simple. Uh, I know it's not that simple sometimes, but the concept is simple. And just keep walking forward. Nobody knows at this time. If you watch a lot of YouTube, nobody knows. We just feel the same thing. We just don't know what's going to happen. We just know that 2019 is going to be a huge year. So why not get ready for that? That's all. Thank you for listening and being here. Thank you for all the comments. I love that. I appreciate that. If you want to get in touch with me, you can do so on my Facebook page at Indigo Girls Readings, using my email at indigogirl555@gmail.com, or on Instagram at indigogirl555. Thank you, and be well.